in the United States, and there's performance guarantee.
Well, I'm very interested in it because I look at the formulations. They're amazing, and I know how successful it is in just 8 years. And I mean, we follow at InfoWarsLife.com the very same ideas, the very same principles, and it is all about word of mouth, and that's why being moral is a win-win-win for the customers, for yourself, for everybody. I mean, that's the only karma or mojo, reap what you sow that I want, is serious high quality. And there's all these attempts to suppress these type of things, but I see that being defeated as well. So the moral of the story is, there's not just evil in this world, there's good as well. Now, listen, I want to get to calls. I don't want to hog everybody here. Renee, David, Wayne, Douglas, Daniel. Who's been holding the longest here, John? Rena in Canada. Okay, Rena in Canada. The guy in Thailand had to hang up. Okay, Rena in Canada. Go ahead. You're on the air with Dr. Pieczenik.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yes, I can, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so I kind of have a small testimonial about vaccines, and then I'm just wondering how they can get away with this stuff. 2 years ago, when my son was 2.5, he was given a vaccine, and then the next day when he got out of the bath, his legs started wobbling, and he just, fell over. And 20 minutes later, he was really hot. I ended up having to call 911. While I was waiting, his lips turned blue. It was like the scariest day of my life. We got to the hospital. They did all kinds of tests. They couldn't find anything wrong with him. And then I started researching vaccines, and I found out it says right in the inserts that they cause seizures. And I'm just wondering how they could be constantly injuring.
Well, almost everyone I know that's ill got a vaccine, adult or child, and they get Guillain-Barré, narcolepsy. They can't drive cars anymore. They get epilepsy from it. They get cancer from it. People's kids are fine. They're brain damaged, the blood coming out their nose the next day. I mean, it is a curse. And again, I'm not saying vaccines aren't a real technology. It's just that whatever's going into them, whatever's happening, I wouldn't take a vaccine if my life depended on it. Now, I don't know Dr. Pieczenik's view on this. Dr. Pieczenik, your view on immunization?
Well, on a collective level, we need to immunize our children. Otherwise, we're going to have an outbreak of what I've seen when I grew up, which is polio, measles, mumps. It is not a very good epidemic to have. On the other hand, you do have concerns and side effects, so you really have to study and find out how much thimerosal and how much mercury there is in the vaccine and whether there's a variation of it.
Well, that's the thing, though. They lie and say, so you're honest, like doctors always were, and said, yeah, there's cost-benefit. Now they just say, hey, there's no side effects, trust us, take it. And when you get hurt, they try to deny it. Here's an example. They never said give pregnant women vaccines until 6 years ago. Now they say give them extra. Now, I've talked to medical doctors on air. They say that's crazy. What do you say?
Well, I haven't given it, I've just given vaccines to myself and my family. Unfortunately, nothing has happened, but I can't get into the details of vaccines. I've not been privy to all the studies, but I do know from an epidemiological point of view that we do have to contain certain problems. One is flu, which Spanish flu has killed over 20 million people in 1990. We have some control over that now.
Yeah, I think the issue is the vaccine companies have been given protections where they can't get sued, basically. Remember Porton Down and Bioport and the troops getting hurt with bad vaccines? I think the issue is they're allowed to put out crap, Doc.
Well, that's the problem of the FDA. The FDA has to monitor this more effectively. Can we monitor more effectively? Yes. Will I speak on behalf of the FDA? No. I think Margaret Hamburger has to address these issues as to where the vaccines have to be improved.
All right, well, that lady already hung up, but I wanted to hear from her if her son got better. We're so sorry, ma'am. Look, it's cause and effect. Take the shot, have the convulsion, and it's an autoimmune response in the brain, according to medical doctors. And I get the fact, I wish vaccines were safe and effective. I would take them. It's just that the damage, I believe, is starting to outweigh what they claim the good is, Doc. Let's talk to Daniel in Colorado. You're on the air with Dr. Pieczenik.
Hello, Alex. Thank you for taking my call. I'm calling from Durango, Colorado, and here in the local paper, the Durango Herald, they put out an article stating drones take to the sky. And how they're selling this is how it will be beneficial for wildfires, how they can locate the hot spots and go in and put them out. You know, we see the police state forming. We see martial law on the horizon. What are your thoughts on drones?
Now, that's a good point. Whenever we showed about 5 years ago or 4 years ago that they're planning to use drones to surveil farmers and harass people, they had the media say it wasn't true. Now they're launching them. Dr. Pieczenik, what is your concern on drones, the police state, you name it? Because there is an awakening happening, but the system tends to, try to set up an oppression system.
Well, what's happening is the more the police state tries to set up an oppressive system, the more faulty it becomes. In other words, the bigger it becomes in some ways, the American public should be grateful. It really doesn't function as size increases. It becomes more ineffectual. I'll give you an example. In the day 20, 30 years ago, they may have collected the National Security Agency 1 million bits of information in a minute. So they might have been able to monitor. Now they're collecting billions of bits of information which has no relevancy to anything. With the issue of drones, it's a fascinating phenomenon because now you can buy a drone for $300 and people can actually have their own drones taking pictures. So I think it's a new era. I think it's equally
I tell you what, stay there. I want to come back and have you finish up, Dr. Pieczenik. I had a drone fly into my property, up to my house, through the window, and it got away before I could get it. But that did happen.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. Silverlungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
I am a 47-year-old female and had a heart attack in 2005. This is Alice from New Jersey. I still get angina, even with 4 stents. I was taking nitro 2 or 3 times a week. The very first day after taking heart and body extract, the chest pain was gone. Now I don't wear a nitro patch.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
This hour brought to you by InfidelBodyArmor.com. When it hits the fan, don't be left without the body armor that will save your life. With prices starting at just $374.99 and ships free. Get yours at InfidelBodyArmor.com. Just won't quit.
Hi, Ted Anderson with Midas Resources. Is it time to convert paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver yet? Get our 10 Reasons book free. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
On September 30th, 2014, the first confirmed case of Ebola appeared in the U.S. This, combined with several other unidentified viruses, have some of our customers at 30dayfoodsupply.com concerned about the safety of our domestic food supply, resulting in a surge of our $99 90-serving kits. While we at 30dayfoodsupply.com have no expertise in epidemiology, we are aggressively purchasing raw materials that are currently in stock, and we intend to continue to sell our 30-day non-GMO emergency food supply for only $99 as long as we can. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low by buying directly from the producers in Oregon and then pass the savings on to you. Call 541-229-0010 and purchase our 30-day, 90-day serving emergency food supplies for only $99, and $10 ships your entire order to the lower 48. Visit our website at 30dayfoodsupply.com or call 541-229-0010. 541-229-0010.
Federal agents, we are armed!
What would you do if you knew all the things we knew? Would you stand up for truth? Or would you turn away too? And then what if you saw all of the things that's wrong?
Well, we've been getting Dr. Steve Pieczenik's perspective today. We got 6 minutes left. I want to take a few more calls for him. StevePieczenik.com is his site. Doc, anything else you want to add before we talk to Wayne and David?
No, I'm very pleased to answer the question, and I'm honored to be on your show. I'd love to listen.
Honored to have you. Wayne in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, I want to share something real quick, and then I got a question. I've seen some things out here 70 miles from your location. I've seen 2 spacecraft out here, man, but just 3 days ago, I saw what looked like a B-52 silver fuselage flying over me. And what fell out of the sky was like a giant sperm. I mean, it was odd, but it had a tail like a web, like a spider web almost. I'm seeing things out here that are unbelievable. So I believe they have technology beyond our understanding. My question for Dr.
I'll tell you, you saw what dropping giant sperm out of the sky?
Well, these things had like an egg sac on one end and a tail that came off of it. I mean, it looked like a huge sperm, but it was odd. I wish I'd got pictures.
Sounds like some kind of mid-air refueling deal. Very, very strange. What was your question for Dr. Pieczenik?
Well, I'm concerned about the psychology that we can't get beyond between the believers and the non-believers of what's going on here. And does this relate to Revelation in that some men's minds are seared?
The Great Delusion.
Their beliefs.
Yeah, given the Great Delusion. Let me ask Pieczenik that then in the time. Thank you, caller. Get some video of that. I'd like to see it. Dr. Pieczenik, how do you get people who have cognitive dissonance and are in denial to wake up and admit this stuff's going on?
Well, it takes an incident and it takes a shock for them to suddenly realize that there's one thing they believe and then the phenomenon is not according to their belief. Like 9/11, everybody felt, oh, it's not possible because it takes too many people to be in a conspiracy, and we don't do that, and the American government doesn't do that. Then finally, Alex Jones come forth, or Dr. Pieczenik, and then what happened is engineers and architects from all over the United States, hundreds of them said, look, the fact that a building 40 stories high comes down in 10 seconds is not possible, and this is what happened. And then eventually that cognitive dissonance of non-belief is the phenomenon of how you destroy a building, and the fact that a third building was blown up without any effect, that breaks the cognitive dissonance.
That's
and eventually people begin to say, oh, my God, our country does go against us, and therefore we must protect us. And that's why you and I are here to basically attempt to break that denial, but it takes time.
David in Louisiana, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, this is David with the NOLA Report. I got to interview John McCain about Benghazi, and I got to speak to speak to an establishment Republican over the one night at a congressional victory party, and I was picking his brains about a lot of topics, and he said one of them was Russia, and he said that we should go in and kill every single one of the rebels in the Donetsk region. The first question to Mr. Pieczenik is, do you think we should cut off the Russian pipeline in that region? And the second one is, we always associate communism with Democrats, but do you believe that there are fascists in the establishment Republican Party, or are they just crony capitalists?
Well, I think they're two good questions. Number one, we don't have to do anything physically to Putin. We're doing it already psychologically and economically. When you drop the price of oil below $90 per barrel, that's the first red line for him. And the second red line is that the Kremlin, we know, is preparing for an economy and not an effective economy.
I'll tell you what, do 5 more minutes, Doc. I want you to be able to finish this thought. We'll talk to Douglas in a few...
The answer is no, we don't need to go in. They were basically dropping the whole economy of Russia by just lowering the price of oil.
But is that moral? What did they do to us? I'm going to come back and ask you that straight ahead. 70 seconds. We're back, folks. Infowars.com.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you'll love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out.